Hi, my name's Sue from createwithsue.com. Thank you for joining me today. We are making heart earrings today using faux leather and a little technique for the backing, which you can use or not use, depending on. I'll just show you how to use it. If you're interested in courses, check out the notes and you'll have some links to my courses. Okay, we're in the downloaded version of Canvas Workspace. Go up to File and import your design. You will see in the resource library you'll find the design, and it'll be the one with SVG or FC. Oh, this one is FCM. So it's an FCM design in the workspace because I created this one in Canvas Workspace. And on the layers panel you can see all the pieces of the design, including the holes. I've created holes in there for the jump rings, and about 2 millimeters is probably as small as you can make the hole. It may cut a little smaller than 2 mil. Have a test smaller if you'd like to. I use 2 millimeters because it's fairly easy to cut. The 2 millimeters is still okay to cut. It will depend on what sort of materials you're trying to cut, how small you can cut. Now, these earrings are quite big. This particular one is quite big, and the other one is a little smaller. However, you can make them single, double, or triple hearts. And how I've created these is I've just added a heart to the canvas and then resized it down to the size I want. About there. You can make them as big or as little as you want. So that's about the size I made it. You can check over on the right in the edit panel to see the exact size. You can create it from the size you want. If you have a defined size in mind, you can create it to the size you want there. And then you just need to add the circle. So back to the shapes, and we'll find a circle and add that. And they come in quite big, you can see. They just come in at a default size, but you can change that. So 2 mil, you can make it whatever size you want that hole. If you have the aspect ratio on, it will set the other setting, so it's 2 mil circle, and you can see it's quite small. So we are going to just move that over to a placement on the heart. And so you need to place it so the circle isn't too close to the edge, or otherwise it might tear the edge, or when you put it together it might be a bit thin. So just kind of think about how sturdy the material is you're using and how close you can manage. So you can see that's about there. I've got it a little bit closer. I'll just go a little bit closer with this one as well. Just arrow it up. You can either, when you're in quite fine, using your arrow keys is probably an easier way to go. And I'm going to put one at the bottom as well. However, if you just wanted a single heart, you would put that one there. And now we use the alignment tools to get it all in line. So center that so it's central to your design. And that was pretty good. Not much movement there at all. And you've made the first part of your heart earring yourself. So as I said, the design will be in the resource library on the createwithsue.com website, but you're certainly welcome to use any of these shapes to make whatever earrings you would like. So let's have a little play with a different shape. This shape here, I love this shape. So that's a great shape. We'll just pop that away and we'll find out where it's popped it over here on the left. Bring it over. Of course, it's come in quite big again. We don't want earrings quite that big. And we will reduce the size to a size that we would like. And we'll just pop them. I'm using my guide on the right hand side. And there we go. This particular shape earring is one that I use to sublimate on. I buy some sublimation blanks and sublimate. But you can make it out of faux leather or your cutting machine as well. And I'm just going to copy and paste that. So I've used Control C and Control V to copy and paste, or you can right click and duplicate, and once again a line in the center, and keeping in mind that you want it to not be too close to the edges. Just sort of think about that. So we might just do a plain single shape. Let's duplicate that shape and create a multi-layer earring, because that will be fun. And we'll just subtract that hole so it stays there. So that's now part of that design. You'll see that this one is still a separate hole at this point, which is okay as well. It will still cut. You could just group it. It will still cut a hole. But because we're going to duplicate this, it will be easier to do it with the actual hole cut out. And I want to layer this on top of each other. So you could do this part before you do the holes or after. It wouldn't really matter. I'm going to just make a couple of layers, and we'll colour. I'll show you how it looks coloured in a moment once we finish creating the layers. So right click and duplicate. You'll see I've copied the second layer, which was already a bit smaller, and I'm just going to make it a bit smaller again. Line them up so they look how you want it to look. So at the moment I'm just working on the styles. So I'm sitting them on top of each other, give it a bit of colour so we can see what it might look like coloured. It's a bit hard to work in a clear background. Sometimes you this is why they've put the colours there, so you can use it to design the effect you want and then keep working. So just give it 3 toned colours, and that's pretty much what your earring is going to look like when it's finished. The holes will have got slightly smaller, possibly not enough to worry it. And of course you don't cut out on top of each other. You'd have to shift them apart to cut them out. Just check that hole gets out. It's not too bad. So we can copy and do the holes afterwards if you want to. That's up to you. As I said, 2 mil is about what you might need. So you've got a couple of options. So you could create them separately or just reduce the size. I'm pretty sure they'll cut out okay still. All right. So the colour, all the colour does, we've gone up to the edit panel and added colour. So all the colour does is give you an idea of what your design is going to look like finished. And of course we need a pair of earrings, so we've duplicated and we've got two earrings now with 3 pieces per earring. That was easy, wasn't it? So I haven't put, at this stage I haven't put this particular design in the resource library. I may do at some point, but I'd like you to try it yourself and give that a go. So if you've got multiple designs on the Canvas Workspace mat, you can go over to the Layers panel and hide some and only send the designs you want. Place them in roughly the right position to cut them out. Keeping in mind I'm going to cut these in separate pieces, so you need to keep your distance a little bit. You can move them. We'll probably move them when we get them over to the mat anyway, and just make sure that they fit using the scan and placement tool when we get over the machine. Go up to the file menu and export them to the machine. You've got a warning to say that some parts of the design are hidden and they won't go. That's fine. Choose how you want to move your design to your machine, whether you're going to use USB or Wi-Fi, and I'll see you over at the machine in a moment. Now this bit takes me the longest, is to work out what sort of colourings I want to choose. So this is my faux leather pack that I've got, which has got lots of colours. And what I plan to do is match up my faux leather with the HTV that I have. So we're going to iron on the HTV on the back of the faux leather so we have a double-sided effect, because the faux leather's kind of got a white type kind of background. So you can see it as I'm flicking through, it's quite a light background. Some of them are a bit coloured, and that's nice. Anyway, I'm going to pull out a number of colours while I decide what colour I like and match it up with my HTV. And those two colours look good together. And I'll fast forward this. You can see the white background there. And it's sort of fluffy on the back, and it's perfectly fine if that's the look you want. This is just another option for you. Alright, I'll fast forward this bit. And here is my HTV. This is a HTV Ront HTV. I've got others, but I thought I'd just go through this pack and see what I can match up. And it looks a good match. I've got some pink here. It might be nice with the pink. Oh, and there's that's a bit off. Yeah, so I've got lots of colours. This came in one pack. And it's got some quite nice colours in it. It's just a matter of matching up. And that creamy colour with the gold might be quite nice. This is the hardest bit, isn't it? Trying to work out what colour you would like your earrings. Black. Oh, black's good. Not for the colours I picked out though. Silver and golds. Pull that goldy colour out because that might go with something. Okay, so I'm going to make the blue ones first. I'm going to use this piece of HTV and this faux leather, which should look quite nice together. So I am going to cut this down a little bit so I don't HTV the whole backing piece. I'm going to cut roughly enough to create the earrings from. So just cut a strip off and about there. And we'll just cut this strip, and that should be enough for these earrings. And it's similar with the pale blue. I'm going to use the pale blue, this dark blue on the back of the pale blue ones as well. So you could mix and match. I'm probably just going to use one colour, but you could put one heart with the dark blue and one heart with the pale blue and have like a two-tone. So I'm just going to put those other ones away for a minute and we'll work on these. So with HTV, the shiny side is the side that goes against the matte, and we will just pop this down on the HTV and press it on. I'm going to use my heat press. And I'm going to cut this out roughly the same size so I don't waste any HTV and I don't get it sticking to to anything. So we'll just cut around the rough area that you are going to use. So now we've got it together and cut out. Take it over to the heat press. I've got the layer under there and the HTV on top. I've got Teflon sheet underneath, and I'm going to put a Teflon sheet on top as well. Now you can use a heat resistant tape to hold it to your mat, and I might go back and do that in a second because otherwise you need to double check that it hasn't moved. And so I've popped some heat press tape in there. Make sure it's heat resistant tape. 15 seconds on the heat press. This is a HTV Ront Auto Press. So I've done it 150 degrees Celsius at 15 seconds. And that should be enough to adhere the HTV. I'll just speed it up a little bit. You can see I've popped some tape there, and it's fairly hot, so don't burn yourself. Just take me a minute to get it off because it's hot. and place the tape somewhere where it is not going to worry your design. It's on that carrier tape there. Okay, over at the machine, we are going to bring the design in. That's the Wi-Fi I've selected, and you can see the heart-shaped earrings are there. If you go into the edit panel, you can manipulate your design at this point by either deleting pieces, cutting some pieces separately. Use those 3 squares and either the full selection or this one on the left, which will allow you to move the area that you want to cut and exclude the other areas from cutting. You need to select the OK after you've done this. I'm just going to go back and show you another method as well. So that's selecting all the pieces. Now you can go and deselect the ones you want to keep and go OK, and then either delete the highlighted ones or group them. Whatever you're going to do, that's the way to manipulate most things. I'm probably going to go and delete them and just cut the big ones. So go OK, and I'm going to scan the mat and work out where my placement is. Now I've had a little bit of an issue. I've lost a piece of my video. So do a test cut. You can see the test cut there, and I'm just got it fast forwarded so you can see the earrings being cut out. I left the carrier sheet on the backing. You could do either remove the carrier sheet and use just pop it directly onto your mat, or leave it in place, and I've used the half cut to do this one. Has cut through a bit there, but basically it's okay. So peel it off. You'll see the carrier sheet still in the back there, and you can see the HTV on the back. And just peel them off slowly. If you get caught up with any pieces, just give it a little snip. You can see the hole in there. Pop the holes out. And a little bit off camera, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so we're back at the mat. So we scan the background and make sure that everything's in its right spot. I'll speed the scanning part up. And you can see where I've cut out my previous earring. And you can probably just see the placement. I'm not sure if you can or not. Just move it down into the vacant spot. It's a bit easier to see now. I've got the red boxes around it. So this is the other earring for both of these. Yes, you can just see that. So place them in on your material where they fit, and go OK, choose cut, and off we go. Now I'm not going to do a test cut the second time, just the first time, and I'll speed the cutting process up. Alright, once you're finished, just like before, take the faux leather off of your carrier sheet and take all the little pieces of the circle. Just use your weeding tool if you need to. I've sped this up a little bit, so it's a little bit tedious to watch. And if you get, faux leather has a little, because it's material type fabric, it sometimes has little strings, so just snip them off if you need to. And I've used, a little tip is to use the bit of carrier sheet, the sticky bits, and pick up all your tiny little bits everywhere. I like doing that. Makes it a bit tidier. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is to put the earrings together. So that's the equipment. I'm just using some jewellery pliers. I've got some round-ended ones and some flat ones. And I've got lots of bits and bobs here. So I have some earring hooks. I'm using the silver colour. So we'd need 4 of those to do the 2 sets of earrings. And I've got this container with lots of jump rings, and I actually don't like these ones. So I wouldn't recommend to buy these ones. They're a little bit thin and bend a bit too easy. I've bought others that are nicer than these, but they look good when I bought them, and now they're not. Anyway, about a 6 or an 8 mil jump ring usually works pretty good, but you can use whatever size you want. There's small ones, big ones, whatever. I've used 8 in these ones, and I probably wished I'd used 6 mil. And all you do is you use your pliers to open the jump ring and pop the jump ring through the holes. Oh, there we go, off camera a little bit then. So pop it through. If you open it a little bit more, it's easier, but I just usually open it a little bit. And then hook your next piece to it. Work out how you want them to sit. So I'm joining a top to a bottom here, and it's never easy on camera. And then once you've got it on, you do your jump ring back up. And just hold your pliers both sides. Probably easier with 2 flat nose pliers. I've got the round one today. And squeeze it together. Just like that. And that fits. That's not too bad actually, the 8 mil. And then you continue along adding the jump rings and your pieces together. As I've mentioned previously, if you don't want it quite as big as this, just use 1 or 2 hearts, or make your own, like I started to show you in the earlier section of this video. Just make your own design. There's lots of shapes in there. You can make any shape you desire and put layers of shapes together. It's a fun project and fairly inexpensive. So I'm just going to work my way through and put all the jump rings on. And then at the very top, I'll put another jump ring and the earring component. So depending on how you want your earrings to sit, or how your earring ends are, the earring pieces, I think they're called fines, whether you use a jump ring or not, but I'm going to use a jump ring. Pop it in that top one. And hook your earring piece on and close the jump ring on. Very easy. I love making earrings. I make a lot of sublimation earrings as well, but just earrings in general. I actually make sublimation ones to sell. These were a lot of fun. And there they are. Just get them so they're laying flat. If you use 2 different colour, or either way, front and a back, you need to make sure all your fronts are together and all your backs are the same way. Unless you wanted that design to be different colours. Anyway, I hope you like this. That's the finished earrings. Have fun making them.